All right, welcome to our Diamond Dash call for Tuesday night. I am so glad to have you here tonight because we're going to talk about something that is so important because all of you all are growing to diamond. You're going to be diamond soon if you're not already, and you're going to be bringing new coaches onto your team. So it's really important to know how to get them started right. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I first want to just say, you rock, because you're here right now. You know, I bet there are probably like 10 other things maybe you could be doing, and this just shows that you are an entrepreneur and that you are here to learn and invest in your business. And I just want to honor you for that. And I want you to be proud of that, proud of yourself that you got on here tonight and that you're open to growing and learning, because this is what it's all about. I've watched hundreds of webinars because every single one you learn something new. And tonight I hope that you all have more confidence in terms of starting off coaches. I'm going to give you some tools and resources at the end. So stay on, because I'm going to give you like a bunch of my templates and stuff because I want you to have it. And I want you to feel just more confident in talking to your new coaches and getting them started right. Okay. So you are a coach. You've now brought on some personally sponsored coaches. And what is your role as a coach? You know, I think so many of us we don't know exactly what that means. And I'll tell you, for me, what I see the role of a sponsoring coach to be. The biggest thing I think we're here to do is help our coaches see the potential that lies within themselves, see their potential, see their life's potential, help them see how this can be a vehicle to help them live their purpose and achieve what they want for themselves and for their family. And so I think in my Getting Started Right calls and getting a new coach started, that's really what I want to focus on, is helping them build their why, helping them visualize it, helping them think about what it would feel like, and helping them believe that they can do this, because they can. You know, if you do the 3 vital behaviors and you invest in personal development, you can build this business. And so helping them to develop that why and see their potential. I also, when I start off new coaches, I like to talk to them a little bit about the entrepreneur mindset and kind of explain how this business works, because I think maybe some people come in and think that you, as their upline coach, are going to, you know, build this business for them and bring people to them, and that's really not how it works. So I let them know, you know, you basically just bought into a franchise, and I'm going to be your mentor. You're going to get all of the tools and support and infrastructure and customer service, but this is your business, and you're going to decide, you know, where you want to take this. So I really try to make that clear. And what I will say is a lot of us come from the traditional, you know, boss, manager, employee world. And a lot of us in the beginning, maybe we think we're like their boss or manager. And that's not what you are as their upline coach. You're not their boss. You're not their manager, because they own their own business and they're going to make those decisions. You know, you can't do it for them. You're not their personal Google to answer every question they have. That's not our role as an upline. Our role is to mentor our coaches, to guide them, to help them see their potential and help them build their dreams and build their why. Everyone with me? Okay, cool. It's weird talking to a screen and not, I'm like, Okay, so, oh, and the reason I put that little guy with the superhero outfit in is it's like, you know, we really want to help everyone see that hero within themselves, see that best side of themselves. And so that's part of your role as an upline coach, is to help bring that out in them and help them see them. So let's talk about getting coaches started right. This is going to be so easy for you all. I think you're going to love it. If this has been something you've been struggling with, it's going to be really easy. So what we're going to talk about is sending out a welcome email, adding them to the team page, setting up your GSR, having the GSR, and then adding them to a challenge group. So that's kind of what we're going to go through tonight one by one, and I'm going to talk about each of these steps and expand a little bit on it. And I'm also, like, this is exactly what I do. I've been a coach for 2.5 years now, and this is what I do every time. Every time I bring on new coaches to my team, this is the process. So I'm going to give it to you so that you can implement it and tweak it to what works for you. Okay, so the first thing I do when I get a new coach is, I'm so excited to have them, so I send them a welcome email. And I think for so many coaches, did you all, when you first signed up as a coach, were you like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Like, maybe you get some emails from actual Beachbody, maybe you got something from your coach. Were any of you feeling that way? Like, I don't know where to start. Okay, cool. So what I like to do is I like to give new coaches a checklist, because I feel people respond well. I mean, most of us like checklists, right? To go step 2, step 3. So I like to give my new coaches a welcome email, tell them how excited I am to have them on the team, and just to give them a simple checklist so they know exactly from me how they're going to get started. Okay. So I'll tell you what I have in this checklist, and I'm going to give you this email, so you're going to have it and you can customize it. But the first thing I do is tell them to go into the Coach Online office and start their training. I don't know if you all have been in there, but make sure that as an upline coach, you familiarize yourself with some of the changes that they've made and all the training that they have. But I tell them to start with the getting started training. There are some videos in there, some PDFs. So I say that's step number 1. Step number 2 is I want them to order the Compound Effect or the Slight Edge. I want them to have that book in their hands within the next few days so that they can start reading it. And I actually have them fill out a Getting to Know You form. It's a Google web form just where they answer some questions. You can do that maybe later on in your business if you're not ready, but that's something that I have them do. And the last step I say is schedule a Getting Started Right call with me. So I'm basically telling them start the training, get the book. I send them my GSR form, which we'll go through tonight to print off. And I say set up a call with me. So I just want to make it simple, because once I get them on the phone, I can help really understand what their goals are and help them figure out what their next steps are. But in that email, I just like to make it a few simple steps that they need to do, and then to set up that call with me. You ideally want to have this call within the first 72 hours. That may not always happen, but I always try to get them on the phone within the first week, just depending on schedules. But you do want to make sure that you get them on the phone as soon as possible. So that's the welcome email. Now, I will tell you, in the resources I give you, I'm actually going to give you 2 emails. One is one that I send to business building coaches, and one is one that I send to coach members. otherwise known as discount coaches, because I don't want to send discount coaches, this checklist and they're like, I didn't want this. But at the same time, I want to make them know that as a coach member, they're on the team. And I just let them know that if they want to start building the business, so they can let me know. So you're going to get those 2 emails, okay? So the next thing after I send them that email is I add them to the team page and I introduce them. And I want to ask you all, when you started as a new coach, do you remember that moment, like you suddenly got added to this team page and your coach said something about you and people welcomed you? Did you all remember that, and how did that feel for you? I almost died. Okay, maybe feel special, amazing, like I was something bigger. It was awesome. Yes, yes, yes. It's exciting. And so that's part of what this is meant to do. You are now welcoming them to this amazing community of coaches. And you want to make them feel special. You want to make them feel welcome. So I do a quick design. I like go into their Facebook page, find a great photo or maybe 2, and I quickly just do a little graphic for them. This does not need to take more than 5 minutes, okay? It's easy to get distracted if you like making graphics to like do a lot. This is something quick that you can do, but add their name, add their welcome. I list my favorite apps here, which are Rona Designs, A Beautiful Mess, Simera, Avery, and Fonto. So those are the apps I use on my phone, and then on the web, I use pickmonkey.com, and canva.com is also a great one. So you're going to whip up a graphic in like 5 minutes tops and add them to your team page, maybe your coach's team page, whatever your organization kind of looks like, and do a personal introduction. So this is part of helping them see that potential and what makes them special. So it's talking about who they are, what their goals are, what their potential is, what they're going to do with this, and to really make it as personal as possible and, to start helping them believe in how amazing they are and what they can do with this business. Like you all said when you answered the question, it made us feel good to be welcomed into this community. It's like, for me, it was a surprise. Like, I didn't know I was going to get added to, like, all the cool people club here. So definitely make that a big deal and welcome them and create that culture on your team where everyone welcomes new coaches, because that's really important. Okay, the next thing, so they're going to get your email and start the training. You're going to welcome them onto your team page, and then you're going to have them schedule an appointment. Now, there are a couple ways you can schedule an appointment. I know some coaches who say, text me when you're ready to talk. So, like, if you're cool with that, do that. For me, I like to have everything very scheduled because I'm very specific about my family time and my business time. So if you want to kind of just say, hey, text me this weekend once you're done with the training, we'll set up a time to talk. You can do that. You can do it over Facebook messaging or email. Just coordinate your dates and times of when you can link up. Or if you want to, there are some great online scheduling tools. I use one called BCTA, and there's also one called Acuity. And what it allows me to do is set up my schedule of availability, and people can book appointments into those time slots. So like for myself, I only do calls on Tuesday, Thursday during the day, and then only 2 nights a week do I have slots open for calls. So you can kind of set it up based on your schedule, and then people can look at the dates and times where you're available and book their time. So it's really great. Misty asks, is this an appointment for GSR? Yes, it is. And Robin, I know that they have some free components, so I would go in and check it out. Some of it's free, and then if you want some more advanced options, I know that VCDA is $10 a month. But I just like it because I use it for all my coaches, my challengers, everyone I want to talk to. I say, here's the link, schedule an appointment. And it also adjusts for the time zone and sends them and yourself a reminder email before the appointment. So it's just a nice added bonus, but you certainly don't have to have that. You can do it over texting, over email. Just set up a time to talk. The other reason I like to schedule things is because I don't want to be distracted. And I think that's important on your Getting Started Right calls, that you can be 100% focused on the conversation and that you're not, like, I don't know, walking around on the street or your kids are in the background or whatever. If you can make sure that that's a time when you can really be focused on them so that you can send them the message that they're important and that you've carved out this time for them. So, okay, I want to make sure I get to these questions. I use VCTA, VCITA, and then if they don't schedule an appointment, yeah, I just follow up with them and say, hey, just wanted to make sure you got my email, that you started the training. And, you know, some people get overwhelmed from the beginning. They just say, I don't even know, how to get to the training or something. And I'll just tell them, set up a call. We'll go through it, because you do have to, in a lot of ways, adjust what you do for each individual's needs. So if someone tells me, oh, I feel overwhelmed or whatever, and they haven't done the training, that's okay. I just get on the phone with them. And for my time slots, I do 30 minutes. So that's what I do for most GSRs. Okay. This is like my favorite thing. So for those of you who know me, I have the emerald personality and the red personality for the color code. And so I like to have a structure. And I found that a lot of times I'd get on a Getting Started Right call, and it would kind of ebb and flow through various things. And I'd get off the phone and be like, oh my gosh, did I tell them this? Did we talk about this? Do they know what their next steps are? And so I came up with this form that I actually send to them so they kind of know what we're going to be going through. And I also print it out myself. And I get a pen and paper. So like I have it right here. I write their name at the top. And this is like the framework for my call. So I don't necessarily have to like go through everything in order, but these are the things I want to make sure I cover. So, I say, have you done the training? Kind of where are you in the process? How was it for you? What did you learn? Is there anything that is confusing to you? Carrie, I'm going to give this to you all at the end. Okay, I'm going to give you the link to all this stuff. Then I want to make sure they set up their EFT direct deposit, because I know they're going to get paychecks in the next week or so. And I want to make sure they have that set up so they're not getting stuff through the mail. And then I like them to order either the Slight Edge or the Compound Effect. And on my PowerPoint, this is actually a hyperlink so that when they click on that, it takes them to Amazon. But I want them to do those things, because those were the things on my checklist. And then I make sure to ask them what fitness program and Shakeology flavor they got. And, if they have already had it and just signed up, great. Or if they just got it, I say, what do you think? How do you like it? What recipe are you using? When are you starting your program? I just want to know kind of where they're starting at. And then I want to talk about their why. And this is where what I talked at the beginning of this call about helping them see the potential and helping them. The way that I look at it is it's like painting a picture of what their life would be like. And the more of your senses that you can put into that picture. So like, what does it look like? You know, what are you doing? Where do you live? What's your normal day like? How does that feel? You know, to really paint a detailed picture of that vision and to help them see that this is an opportunity that can get you there. And you can do this. It doesn't have to be just a picture in your mind of, one day I'd love to be able to work from home and spend more time with my kids. Like, you can do that. And this is what's going to help get you there. And I always tell them to use that why to drive them and to think about it every single day, because whatever it is, it's important. It's like really important. And tapping into that emotion and that feeling is, you know, what keeps you going and what keeps you reaching your goals when you have, you know, hardships or setbacks. And I'll just tell you, my why was like so crystal clear to me that when I started as a coach in 2013, I wanted to be at the bus stop with my daughter the following September 2014 when she started kindergarten. And I envisioned that like every single day. I envisioned myself at the bus stop, not at work, in my yoga pants, drinking my Shakeology, hanging out with other moms, talking to the other kids, getting her on the bus. And so whatever their why is, help them see that and help them believe that it's possible for them. So then I kind of like to go into, that's like your why. So what are some of your goals to help you get there? So for me, it was to be able to quit my job and replace my income. So next you want to take that picture that you all painted together and figure out, okay, what are the goals that you have for this business to actually get that in your life, right? So we talk a little bit about those so that they know kind of where they're headed with the business side of it to bring their why into fruition in their life. And then the last thing we talk about is their immediate goals. And this is where I say to them, it's awesome that we've talked about, you know, your goal and your why and the big picture, but we need to talk about what you're going to do in the next month. And depending on what their goals are, that's going to inform what the next steps are for them. So if they tell me, I talked to a coach today who said she wants to quit her job ASAP, and we talked about strategy to get there, and I said you have to hit Success Club 10 every month. That's what you have to do, because for her particular goals, that's what I needed, that's what she needs to do to get there, and that's what I needed to tell her honestly to get there. You may have another coach where they say, my why is to lose 50 pounds and help people along the way, but I really want to focus on my own journey. And so maybe for them, their immediate goal is, okay, let's focus on the 21-day fix. I want you to do this program. I want you to get results. I want to help support you so that you feel that you're starting off on that goal and that you can then start inviting if that's what they want. So it's really taking what they want and helping them outline very specifically, these are the next steps. So I go through them with them. I say, does that feel right to you? Is that something you can do in the next month? Can I follow up with you? So immediate goals, you know, whether it's going Emerald, hitting Success Club, whatever that is for them, helping them outline that so they know specifically what they're supposed to do. And then I make sure I talk to them about the Success Starters program. I think that's so important because we know through, I mean, they've looked at the statistics that, you know, if your coaches can start hitting Success Club and start doing that their first 3 months in the business, that going forward, they just build on that momentum. So I talk to them about that, especially if one of their immediate goals is to hit Success Club, which for most of my business builders it is. And I let them know about the free summit ticket. So I want them to know that's a huge value and that we want you to be there with our team. I also make sure I figure out when are they going to get into a Coach Basics group and what challenge group I'm going to put them in. So I want to make sure they have the support on the coaching side and that they're in a Coach Basics group. And I also want them to make sure they have support on the challenge group so that they can see how I run my groups and also have support as they're doing their program and reaching their health and fitness goals. So we usually talk about that. So I personally run a Coach Basics the first Monday of every month. So depending on where it is, I just kind of let them know when it's going to be. And then I run a number of revolving challenge groups, but I make sure I get them into that. I let them know what to expect. And the last thing I ask them is I say, what do you think your pace is in this business? Because, when you bring a coach into the business, this is about their goals. It's not about your goals. And so, after talking to them about their why and long-term goals, I ask them, what do you think your pace wants to be? Because I let them know. I say, I'm going to match your pace and I'm going to match your level of effort. And I just kind of want to know what your goal is in terms of starting this. Are you a walker? Do you want to run? Are you sprinting? And we just talk about that a little bit. And I want to set expectations that this is your business. These are your goals. You're going to do this at your pace. You're going to decide how fast your business grows. And I'm going to match your level of effort. So I'm going to be right there with you. And then lastly, next steps, we just talk about anything next. So are we having a meeting in a week or 2 weeks to talk about them hitting their goals? What are the next things we're going to be doing? So does that make sense to everyone? Is this helpful and something that you think would be useful to help guide you through your conversations and feel more confident about talking to your new coaches? Awesome. So so I send this to them. I'm going to give you all the file. I'm going to give you it in PowerPoint so you can edit, and I'll give you a PDF. You can just use it, okay? So I'm going to give that to you at the end, so stay on. Okay, so I already talked about this a little bit. You want to make sure to get them plugged into a challenge group because that's part of what they'll be doing as a coach is running their own. So we want to make sure to be supporting them. And then also a Coach Basics group. So if you are not at the point where you run your own right now, you can get in contact with your upline and see if they do it. You can get together with some other coaches on your team and run some together. But I think it's really important to get them into that learning group so that they can start learning the basics. Okay, someone asked me if I file this and print this away. I actually, if I was a paper person, I would, but I actually put the information into my Asana, which is where I keep all my notes. It's an electronic note-keeping system. So I actually type everything that we talked about into that and then throw away the paper. But if you're a paper person, put it in a notebook, and there you have it to refer to. Megan asked, how often after the GSR do I talk to my coaches? Is it once a week or, what kind of, and what I will tell you is I match their pace. So if I see them in the Coach Basics and they're doing all the assignments, if I see them posting invites on their page, if I see them, they have 2 Success Club points, then I know that they're building their business. I know that they're running and that they're doing this. And so that's the point where I may say, hey, awesome. I see what you're doing in the training. You hit Success Club. Let's set up a phone call. And I send them that link. Okay? If I have someone who's not ready, I may check in with them periodically, but it's really, I make it pretty clear to the coaches that, you know, this is your business and I will be there for you, I will support you, I will mentor you, but I need to see that they are putting in the effort so that I can match what they're doing. Okay, so this is, you know, I think I talked about this a little bit, but I think it's so important to let people know and to empower them that, like, this is up to you. It's not about your upline coach. It's not about your past. It's not about whatever failures you've had. It's not about necessarily what team you're on. You are an entrepreneur, and to really empower them that this is up to them and that they can do this and that they take 100% ownership of their business. So that's one of the things I really try to impart on them, is that concept, and also that I will match their pace. And so I'm going to look at what they're doing, and I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping up with them in terms of the mentorship and the resources that I'm providing based on what they do. Okay, so one thing I know I hear a lot from coaches is they say, okay, I brought in some coaches on my team, but no one really wants to build a business, or people aren't doing the training, or, you know, they're not inviting to the challenge group, whatever it is. So if you're in that circumstance, the main thing you want to do is be the leader, and you need to lead from the front. You need to show them every day exactly what they're supposed to be doing by your own actions. So you need to be posting on Facebook. You need to be inviting to challenge groups. You need to be checking in with the Coach Basics group. You are setting the pace for your team. And so you want to lead from the front. I love this quote: people may doubt what you say, but they will believe what you do. So let yourself be the example of what you hope that every coach on your team eventually does. They may not do it right now, today, but if you want your team to start hitting Success Club, you hit Success Club every month. If you want your team to start adding coaches, you show them that every single month you're welcoming new coaches onto your team. You lead from the front, and they're going to follow your lead. And the last thing, which is so important, is I think a lot of us, we like build this team and we think, okay, these are like, you get those first two people for Emerald and you're like, okay, these two coaches, I'm going to be 2-star with them. They're both, these are going to be my first 2 diamonds, and the coaches you bring on, again, it's about their goals. It's about what they want and what they're willing to do as an entrepreneur for their own business. So if you feel like you're a coach who's saying, my team, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, I'm trying so hard, I'm going to tell you what to do, okay? Are you ready? There's a little bit of a delay, that's why I have to pause sometimes so I can see the comments. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what to do in that situation. The key is to keep inviting coaches to join your team. So you know that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You cannot make a coach of yours become an emerald or become a diamond or want to, have their why in their life and be willing to sacrifice for that. You can't make that happen for them. So you do your part by leading from the front, by getting them started right, by encouraging them and mentoring them and giving them the tools for success. But if you find that some of the coaches on your team aren't following your lead or doing what you're doing, then you need to keep inviting coaches. So I know for myself, the coaches that made me diamond, I'm even trying to like remember who that was, but it's like some of them are probably not on my team anymore, you know, and so to be successful in your business, you can't just have those 8 people and put everything into those 8 people and think that they're going to then make you 8-star, you know, as a diamond. You've got to keep inviting. You've got to keep building your team and inviting coaches, because you're going to find those people who are ready. And it's the right time, the right place. They have their why, and they're going to want to do it. And so don't give up on that. And keep hitting Success Club, keep inviting coaches to your team, and you will get there, I promise. There can be moments, I know for me, I thought, oh my gosh, is this ever going to happen? But it will. But this is so important. Don't get tied up in trying to manage your team and be a manager to your coaches, when really you want to mentor them, and you also want to keep inviting coaches to your team. Scott Foster asked me how many PS coaches I have. I actually don't really know. I just don't look at it. But I have a wide variety of coaches with different goals. So I have some that are pushing to 2-star. I have some that are strictly discount coaches. So I have a lot of different levels. And I try my best to kind of match their pace and give them what they're putting in. I'll just give you an example. I had a coach who joined, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, but she had stuff going on in her life. And then I noticed she hit Success Club in August. So I messaged her right away. I said, awesome job. You hit Success Club. Let's schedule a meeting so we can talk about your next steps and your strategy going forward. So, you know, that's how I match their pace and look at what they're doing and help support them and propel them forward. Okay, someone said, when I welcome new coaches, coach members, like discount coaches, do I introduce them as well? And the answer is yes, I do. And what I just welcome them to the team. I say, you know, they're going to be doing the 21-day fix. They're hoping to lose weight and have more energy to be with their kids. And we're so glad, you know, to have them on the team, because I want them to see the bigger picture. You know, because a lot of us don't know with Beachbody that there's like that we don't know what's behind the curtain until someone shows us. So all my discount coaches, I introduce them on the team page. They get all my emails, because I send out weekly emails to my downline, because I just want to show them that this business is easy. It's just about talking to people and sharing and inviting, and it's not some weird, scary, you know, thing. And I want them to see that, because what I have found is a lot of coaches who initially join for the discount, something, you know, happens in their life, or I don't know, they change in some way and they're ready to do it. So, okay. I have a hard time inviting to the coaching opportunity. What's your favorite way to invite? Okay, and explain both. Okay, I'm going to answer your questions because we're all here, right? And I told you this would be short, so I can answer a couple more questions and then I want to wrap up, but I'll stay to answer questions. In terms of inviting to the coaching opportunity, it depends. I invite people in private messaging, usually. I usually send them a video or invite them for a phone call. I also run coaching sneak peeks. It just kind of depends. It depends what the situation is, you know, and what I think that person wants. And sometimes I give them a choice because I don't know. So I say, hey, I'd love to chat with you more about coaching. Would you rather me send you a video or set up a phone call? Because depending on what their schedule is and what their preferences are, that way they can choose. And then, okay, you all asked about my weekly email to my coaches. So it's very, very simple. I just basically let them know, you know, what the specials are for the month. This week, I reminded everyone about Super Saturday and told them to register for one. This week, I was running a coaching sneak peek for my team, so I just reminded them that they can invite to that. So it's just like, it's a very quick communication. But what I try to remember is not everyone's on Facebook all the time and in the groups. And so this just gives you a way to connect with your downline, connect with your personally sponsored coaches, and let them know what's available. Okay, so here's the magic resources. Write this URL down because this is where I'm giving you both my emails, I'm giving you my GSR phone call form. I'm also giving you a really great audio that you can listen to by Craig Holliday called How to Get a New Coach Started Right. I've listened to it at least like 10 times, and it's just excellent for being in the mindset and having the confidence as an upline coach. And I also put in there, in case you missed it, my favorite apps for editing photos and you know, creating those graphics. So I think that's it. Okay, I've been growing my Facebook. You know, in terms of the business builders, I think it's important to just keep sharing your story and expanding your network, and to never prejudge anyone, because you don't know who's gonna be amazing at this, and to just share and expand your network to as many people as possible. I remember Scotty did a video that I watched on YouTube when I was a new coach, where he said, if you have a deck of cards and you find your 4 aces, you can't keep going through the same deck of cards looking for more aces. So it really is about just expanding your network and meeting more people and inviting more people. So, yes, and Monica said to watch Scotty Hobbs' recording from last week. So thank you all so much. You're a rock star, okay? Give yourself a pat on the back for being here on a Tuesday night, for being here till the end. I hope you got something of value out of this. I hope you feel more confident and that you have more tools for bringing those new coaches on your team, because you're all going to be diamonds, and then you're going to be star diamonds. So this is so important. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate you being here and appreciate your time.